Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast. Time to hashtag everything. We talk about all the fun, crazy stories on social media. From Instagram to Facebook, Twitter to Tumblr, or probably even Friendster. Join us each week as we explore the quirky side of social media. It's the Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast.
It's simple, such a sad song. The one that we rely on to get us.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Sarah, and it is almost Halloween, which I'm sure you have noticed. Well, since about August when the Halloween stuff all came out. Now I went shopping today. I can't even remember for what. Doesn't matter. But already, several days before Halloween, most of the Halloween stuff is gone, and it's been supplanted by Christmas. So it's kind of the nightmare before Christmas, that combination of Christmas and Halloween or something. I really don't know what to call it. It weirds me out, though, when my Halloween and Christmas get all mashed up together like that. Hallowmass? Yeah, I don't know. Thanksgiving just kind of maybe gets shoved in there. There'll be like 2 Thanksgiving items that you can maybe find if you... Poor Thanksgiving gets the shaft every year. At any rate, since it is almost Halloween, and Halloween is on a Thursday this year, a lot of Halloween parties happened over the weekend, so we have definite Halloween celebrity sighting kind of things. I'm a big fan of creative Halloween costumes, and celebrities sometimes have those. I'm not as big of a fan of not just celebrities, but any female Halloween costume that just uses the word sexy. Okay, so I'm a sexy nurse. I'm a sexy, national park guide. I'm a sexy school teacher. I'm a sexy this. I'm a sexy that. No, that's to me is not creative. That is just taking a job and putting a short skirt on it. So not my favorite way to dress up for Halloween, but there are all kinds of creative Halloween costumes. I saw a picture on my Facebook recently of, maybe today, maybe yesterday, who knows, Paul Rudd, who dressed up as Weird Al Yankovic. And when I first glanced at it, I thought, is that Weird Al Yankovic? And then I was like, no, that is not. But he did a good job with his costume. I was impressed. So his costume was not for a celebrity party over the weekend, but he was shown in a series of pictures trick-or-treating with his daughter. And the interest apparently in the there was... Obviously, people are going to post this and post about it on social media, but the interest in his costume largely stemmed from the fact that his daughter was dressed as the Wasp, which is, of course, the superhero partner of Rudd's character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He played the Ant-Man, but he did not go as Ant-Man, and I can't blame him. I mean, he's dressed up as that for many, many days, over many, many months. One Twitter user wrote, "Imagine, she's got her Avengers candy bag. She's dressed up as the Wasp for Halloween, escorted by her father, Paul Rudd, who played Ant-Man in the actual blockbuster film, Ant-Man and the Wasp. But he's decided to go as Weird Al Yankovic." Hey, I don't blame him. Good for him. He, really when you look at him, he doesn't look that much like, no, he looks like Weird Al Yankovic. You can tell who he's trying to be, but it's not like I was fooled for long. Let's just go. She looks adorable, his daughter, as Wasp, and he looks not adorable, but, funny. You can't really help but smile when you see the picture because he just looks so deadpan in all the pictures that I've seen. He even has a little toy accordion, so good for him. And, I really appreciate that his daughter paid homage to the movie that her father's in, but did not dress up as Ant-Man, which she could have, but dressed up as Wasp. So, that just seems like nice symmetry. The weekend, of course, was full of various Halloween parties, and so you can go online and online on social media. If you follow celebs, I'm sure you saw pictures of their costumes. If they went out, there are all kinds of pictures of celebs dressed up. Some of them you can look at them and know exactly, and others maybe not so much. Jessica Biel went as her husband, Justin Timberlake, but the in-sync version of Justin Timberlake. So you've got the blonde curls. I'm not sure I would have gotten it just from the costume, but maybe that's just me. Justin Timberlake, for some reason, went as a microphone next to her. I guess. Okay. I feel like his costume could have been better. I mean, I think it's kind of funny that she went as him and he went as a microphone. Nicki Minaj went as Harley Quinn, and her Joker is very creepy. I don't know who he is, but it doesn't mention it. Ciara and Russell Wilson went as Beyonce and Jay-Z in their video where they are standing in front of the picture of President and Michelle Obama, and they did a good job. They have the outfits, the hair and everything, so that was clever. I appreciate the thought that went into that. Laverne Cox made her own outfit, which I appreciate. She went as a superhero and figured, hey, she can make her own outfit, and that's what she did. So, you know what? I appreciate the craftiness that goes into making your own costume, even when you can afford to buy something crazy expensive. Rose McGowan posted on Instagram, "My Halloween costume is an homage to one of the greatest women ever, at Mia Farrow." She is, of course, still rocking her very short blonde hair, and she's got a knife, and she's looking very creepy. Let's see, what else do we have? Nina Dobrev went as Billie Eilish. Lots of drippy mascara, angsty expression, interesting outfit. So yeah, let's see. There's all kinds of pictures. Lisa Rinna went as Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not sure that had I seen her somewhere, I would have immediately said Jennifer Lopez, but it's a very Jennifer Lopez-esque outfit. Let's see. Liam Payne went as Clark Kent. Nicely done. Halsey went as Marilyn Manson. Creepy. Demi Lovato went as Marie Antoinette, and the picture that she posted on Instagram, holy cleavage Batman. Wow. She went as the Marie Antoinette that still has her head, of course, because most people do. Kourtney Kardashian as Ariana Grande. Actually, I knew exactly who she was being when I saw the picture. I was like, that's Ariana Grande. And then I looked and it was Kourtney Kardashian. So not bad. Kate Beckinsale went as Audrey Hepburn. Looks like the Breakfast at Tiffany's Audrey Hepburn. Good choice. One of my favorite is Gabrielle Union Wade, who went as her character in Bring It On, Isis, the cheerleading character. And little baby Gabrielle Union, I know that's not her name, but her daughter, little toddler daughter, also went as a cheerleader, and they look adorable together. The baby is kind of looking in the picture like, I don't quite know what's happening here, but here I am in my little cute cheerleader outfit. She has a bow on her head that's almost as big as she is, and she looks adorable. I like family themed costumes as well. So lots and lots of your typical costumes. Stormy, what's her last name? Stormy Webster went as her mom, Kylie Jenner, at the Met Gala. Probably not the baby's choice. She looks a little traumatized. I don't know if this is just the picture, but the look on her face is like, I don't know why I'm dressed like this. I mean, she's got the wig, it's very elaborate, but the baby looks a little shell-shocked in the picture. Maybe she's just tired. I don't know. What else do we have? I Dream of Jeannie, always a good choice. I always wanted to go as a genie. I almost did one year, but the costume I found did not fit, which Made me think that I was fat, which I was not because, nope, not fat at that point in my life, but body image, good times. Celebs always, I always find celebrity costumes fun and fascinating and sometimes perplexing. Sometimes it seems like just an opportunity to dress up in the most random thing you could find. Can't say I blame you. I, plan on wearing ridiculous Halloween-themed leggings on actual Halloween, and I've been wearing Halloween socks for a week now with Halloween earrings, so I like to go with a good theme. We're going to take our first break of the podcast, and when we come back, more Halloween-themed social media news, so stay tuned.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. It's a Halloween-themed episode since Halloween is coming. One of my favorite celebrities that dresses up for Halloween is Neil Patrick Harris, who dresses up with his family, and they always have a theme. They always look amazing. I wait every year to see what they're going to dress up as because they really go all out and they seem to enjoy it, and I like that they do it as a family. But this year, Neil Patrick Harris is doing something in addition to his normal dressing up. This is a story according to people.com. And last Thursday, some lucky fans went through It's Alive, a first-of-its-kind interactive haunted house hosted by Neil Patrick Harris on Facebook Live, where viewers were able to actually vote on the different tricks and treats in live time for the fans to experience. I've been wanting to put haunted houses together since I was a little kid. Growing up, I used to scare my parents and their friends when they were having a dinner party. Harris, who teamed up with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups for the event, told People. He said, "This is taking it to probably ultimate level, and it's never been done before. We're creating a haunted house that has a lot of variables." Ooh, maybe it's like a choose your own adventure. And then there are, of course, some pictures of the fabulous family in their various Halloween costumes. So given his family's previous elaborate Halloween get-ups, it's safe to assume the holiday is one of his favorite times of the year. He says you get to change your own physical guise to whatever you're sort of feeling in that current year. There are a few rules, and it's fun to be scared when you know you're going to be okay. Some of the group costumes that Harris and his husband David Burtka and their 9-year-old twins Gideon Scott and Harper Grace have donned in the past have been characters from The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, Star Wars, and more recently, ghosts from Disneyland's Haunted Mansion attraction. It has to be way fun for those kiddos to dress up every year in such elaborate costumes. I just think it would be a lot of fun to dress up and then do the pictures. With fall in full swing, Harris and his family like to visit the pumpkin patch and enjoy the change in weather. They like to be artistic and, most importantly, ensure the house is garnished with Halloween paraphernalia. Ooh, good sentence. Good phrase. Halloween paraphernalia. He says, "We have more than a few bins now. They're labeled bones, body parts, and bugs and insects, and then a severed leg bin." But those were really only allowed to bring out once per year. Otherwise, I think people might be concerned. What, you think? If you come in January and there's a box marked severed legs. As for their plans this year, Harris and Burtka are attending supermodel Heidi Klum's renowned annual Halloween party in New York City, but also being in full dad mode in making sure their kids are safe while trick-or-treating on the streets. And, of course, putting a limit on Gideon and Harper's sugar intake. I can't let them eat all the candy that they acquire, so we'll probably have to do some negotiating on chocolate, he says. And then, once they're asleep, I get all the peanut butter cups to myself. So the It's Alive broadcast is currently available to watch on Facebook. I don't know, he just seems like a really fun guy to hang out with, and I think that I appreciate the creativity and the effort they put in every year to their family-themed Halloween costumes. Can't say that I blame them. If I were more creative, I would want to do that as well. What else do we have in terms of Halloween-themed stories? So, speaking of families and Halloween, there was a photo shoot that has gone viral on social media. I saw the article a couple days ago on Bored Panda, and a mom turned her baby into a zombie. Here, I like the headline because it says, "Mom turns her baby into a zombie for a horror photo shoot, and the kid absolutely nails it." She's a baby. What? I don't know. Anyway. So speaking of families and photo shoots, as we were with Neil Patrick Harris's family, this is a story, about a delivery nurse she's a photographer and labor and delivery nurse. Her name is Tiffany Renfro, and she shared the results of the daddy-daughter shoot she gave her husband and their baby. She shared those on Facebook. And it says, and it perfectly captured the strong bond between them. So she's quoted as saying, "Daniel and I are very sarcastic as people, as parents. Life is too short to take everything so seriously. Our babies, Caden, who is 10, Gibson 5, and Oakley 11 months, are our world. We are active parents that would rather be doing things with them or giving them experiences over gifts or money, although they are still spoiled. Our kids go everywhere with us and are included in everything we do. We live away from family due to jobs." And then, oh, little baby, what's her name? Oakley? Little baby Oakley is adorable as a zombie. She really did nail it. So they did little zombie. Did they give her contacts? I hope that, no, you can't give a baby contacts. That's got to be photoshopped in later, but very creepy eyes. So Tiffany's husband, Daniel, is a contracted Blackhawk technical inspector and has always been a big fan of classic horror movies. Our daughter Caden and he started watching The Walking Dead, waiting day by day for the next season. It's their thing, Mom explained. They also watch a lot of classic horror movies. Even Gibson at 5. As long as he isn't violent, I don't really care. He isn't scared, isn't traumatized by them. She said their kids know that people and things on the screen aren't real. I didn't particularly want the kids watching horror movies because they would be scared, but they aren't. They sit there picking out different artistic stuff and laughing at the ridiculous props, makeup, and costumes used in the old classics. They are way braver than I was as a kid. Nope, that would have scared the snot out of me. I never could get past all the ickiness. Nope, totally get involved in the bleh. Mom continues by saying, "It wasn't hurting them, making them scared, so whatever. It's us. My kids are sweet and loving, do great in school, are nonviolent, love others, and that's all that matters to us as parents." Oh, now there's another picture of little baby with her dad whose guts are coming out, and she is standing there with this fabulous baby zombie look on her face. Let's see. So on social media, Renfro wrote, "I must have gotten tagged in the baby bloodbath pic like too many times to count. I wanted to do something, but wanted something original. Plus, Daniel was a little salty, like margarita rim salty, that I got a mommy and me session while visiting family and friends in Oregon. So here it is, his daddy-daughter session. Scroll through them all. Michael Myers might just rescue this sweet zombie babies." And she wrote, "No babies were harmed in this process. No contacts were used. Eyes were edited. Thank you. Although it makes me giggle because trying to picture putting contacts on an 11-month-old is hilarious when I can't even wrangle her to change a diaper some days. No babies were scared in this process. Our children are used to the mask. Daddy wears it to bed practically. They are used to dressing up, and Oakley is no different. Although she is intrigued by everything, she is not scared. If anything, she was mad I wouldn't give her all the gut goodies." Gross. Caden and Gib were also behind the scenes helping. "All props were edible, made by yours truly." add me at Tiff Lynn Photography. And then she continued writing, my only dream out of all of this is to reach Ellen DeGeneres. Heart emoji, laughing emoji. Daddy and Caden love The Walking Dead, so anything to do with them would be their dream. Daniel wants to be the next Michael Myers. Gibson and Oakley's dream is to just have some more Duncan Hines cake. Oh, yeah, so Dad's there dead with his guts spilling out, and baby girl is, eating some stuff, looking very zombie-like. So Renfro goes on to say, I took the baby, Oakley, to visit family in Oregon, my home state, that hadn't met her yet. While there, my best friends took some pictures of her and me for a little mommy-daughter shoot. My husband, being funny when I got home, said in the whiniest voice, I didn't get any daddy and daughter shoot. So my mind went thinking. In the meantime, I had been tagged in some horror-themed pictures, saying it was right up my alley. Daniel gets tagged in every Michael Myers video on the net because he wears his mask all the time being funny. I wanted something original and something unique. These pictures are definitely original and unique, and not sure it would be my cup of tea, but they are adorable. Little baby zombie. Aw. She actually is the cutest little zombie you ever did see. So then after a few good draft beers, it came to me. The light flickered in my head. I would combine the ideas that Daniel loves and Caden loves and do a zombie shoot. I honestly threw in the Michael Myers idea because I knew that would make Daniel super pumped about it. So it took me about a week to put everything together. Ideas, location, ideas, location, which the kids always love. Oh, she said we drove around for days looking for locations. So yeah, you should definitely look up these pictures because little baby is eating her dad's guts. Which doesn't sound cute. Oh my gosh, now she's eating her dad's hand. It's really, yeah, Mom made them. They're edible, but gross. Dad's just dead by a barn. Baby is eating them. And she, I laughed when it said that, oh, look, Dad now is a zombie. He came back to life. And then there are the Michael Myers pictures, looking threatening in the background with the baby zombie. Don't worry, baby zombie. You can take him. You can take that Michael Myers. There's actually a picture of him holding the baby. And I just feel like she would win because she's adorable and she'll bite him. Okay. Google them. They're adorable. We are going to take our second break of the podcast, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. So stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, and I'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast and our Halloween-themed episode. We've talked about baby zombies, adorable baby zombies. We've talked about celebrity costumes. And now I want to talk about an article that a friend of mine posted on Facebook recently. And it is from McSweeney's.net. It is, we're the husbands from every haunted house movie, and we think you're just not giving our new home a chance. The article is by Amanda Lair, and it's just quotes, like from, I think sort of imagined, how husbands are always sort of poo-pooing the wife's fears in horror movies. So here are a few of them. Now, Muriel, no one said that moving was going to be easy. It's been a chaotic time for all of us. And true, our new place isn't perfect. It doesn't have the crown molding you wanted. There's no central air. And yes, every night at 3 a.m. we're awakened by frantic scratching sounds from inside the walls. It's just the house settling, sweetheart. You know, like we did in 96. Ooh, burn. Okay, I admit it, Angela. The space gets a little drafty, and the roof leaks into the attic when it rains, and all the water stains look like faces. Buyer beware, I suppose. I'll go to Home Depot tomorrow. Sometimes, Beth Ann, to get a historic home at such a steal, you have to take a few lumps and bumps. Or rashes. Or unexplained bite marks. I don't watch horror movies, but I can totally see, not, obviously these over-the-top kind of sentences, but the husbands are always like, it's fine, it's nothing. Yeah, the house settling one, I can totally hear a husband saying that. Glenifer, really? Glenifer? But Glenifer, you say you didn't come here to scrub ectoplasm out of the upholstery or sweep piles of dead birds off the porch. I hear you, but all of us are making sacrifices. My daily commute is 20 minutes longer. Yeah. Scrubbing ectoplasm. No fun. Elise, I think it's a little hypocritical that you want to check into a hotel. Weren't you the one who wanted to spend more time together as a family? That means you, me, Harper, and Harper's new invisible friend and the swarms of flies that periodically pour from our open mouths. Do you really want to ruin taco night? The mansplaining is awesome. Mary Jo, I know that Liam has been bouncing off the walls lately. Crawling up, you say? Tomato, tomato. But that's just little boys for you. Personally, I was hoping football would be his sport, but with those back bends, the kid's going to be a heck of a gymnast. And he's learning Latin? Hello, scholarship. Sherilyn, I'm sorry to hear you feel on edge and trapped, and like the wallpaper of your psyche is peeling back in ribbons. That's heavy. It sounds like you could use some more self-care, darling. Like when I go to the basement in the middle of the night and stare at the furnace with no expression. That's my me time. Blurtrude, really? Blurtrude, of course I'm listening to you. I mean, it's kind of hard not to with all that screaming. Can we talk about this after you've calmed down? Leanne, I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes I look into the mirror in the morning and think, who is that old man with the receding hairline and glowing red eyes staring back at me? Parenthood. It's not for sissies. Janet, I know we're in a bit of a rough patch, but I'm surprised at you. Of course I'm not seeing someone else. And if I was, she definitely wouldn't be some suicide blonde with a French maid outfit and half a face who lives next to the furnace. You're the only girl for me, honey bunny, even if you do get jealous. And finally, Angela, try to look at it this way. Eventually, we may outgrow this place, or I might get the axe from the woodshed and at last act out my violent dreams. But even if we're not here forever, though we could be, who knows, we all need to put in the work if this house is going to become a home, right? Now, if you excuse me, I think the furnace is calling me. So many comments about furnaces, which makes sense because they're always clanking and making noises and forcing people to go down into the basement. I don't even watch horror movies, and I know that happens. There has to be a reason for somebody in the family to go to the basement, and then creepy things happen while they're in the basement. Not good. Finally, did you know that according to one article, almost half of millennials buy Halloween items just for social media purposes? I'm not too surprised. I wouldn't think it was only millennials who did that. But so a study has shown that more women than men said their Halloween spending was actually driven by social media. This is a story from WTSP.com. And the tradition of Halloween is ever evolving. Consumers are expected to spend $8.8 billion on costumes, decoration, and candy this year, according to National Retail Federation. A recent study from Compare Cards by LendingTree is showing that one generation is leading the rest on money spent on the holiday. Millennials reported that they'll spend more on Halloween than any other holiday this year in a new study. 48% of millennials surveyed reported that they've bought a Halloween item for the sole purpose of including it in a social media post. The study questioned 1,500 people online and looked at Gen Z, Gen X, baby boomers, and the silent generation along with millennials. Millennials spending more on Halloween items to impress their social networks is in line with studies that show that the generation is apt to spending money based on social media interactions. So this is not surprising, and like I said, I feel like it's probably more prevalent among the millennials, but I don't imagine that I do imagine that other generations do that as well. I mean, heck, I've been posting pictures of Halloween socks on my Instagram account. So, I didn't spend a ton of money. I already owned a bunch of Halloween socks, and then I bought a pair at the dollar store. Yay me! But the report also says that 4 in 10 millennials feel a lot of pressure to spend on Halloween, while 1 in 4 members of the other generations surveyed feel that same pressure. Social media pressure is a real thing, let me tell you. I mean, when it's kind of the new version of keeping up with the Joneses. You're keeping up with the Joneses, except now on Instagram or Pinterest or whatever it is that you follow on social media. So, yeah, I mean, do what you gotta do, but try not to spend too much money just for social media posts, okay? That's my PSA for the day. It's not a good one, but that's all I got. Hope you are having a great week so far, and whatever you're doing for Halloween, hope it's wonderful. Our next episode is actually on Halloween, so join me then and we'll find out what's trending. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.